I traveled west from Mesquite, Nevada, now in past Snow Canyon State Park. I must stay. I wish I could have stayed longer, but it's a scene of many, many movies that we've heard about. And as I continue down the route across west to Pioche, you could take in this dramatic landscape.
Pioche is not too far away, so time to get there before nightfall and get camp set up. Pioche, Nevada, 6,000 foot level in the high desert. I'm going to do a deep dive. This was one of the most violent towns in the Old West. Big surprise to me. Let's start with the past. Let's head off to Boot Hill. Take our tour.
It sets the stage a bit for the violent history of the past of Pioche, Nevada. The 1850s, 1860s, 1870s were just fraught with issues with settlement. Settlement of various competing groups between the Mormons, the native groups, the mining operations that are coming in. It just fermented all the violence along with the settlement.
Each one of the graves has a story behind it, probably a whole new video in itself. The stagecoach robbers, the mining enforcers, the gunfighters that came, the gamblers.
Most travelers decide to go east when they're passing through Mesquite rather than turning and going west, and they're missing a lot of the spectacular and probably less traveled areas than towards the Zion area, but well worth it. More dangerous than Deadwood, more dangerous than Tombstone in the 1870s. Well, let's start with Boot Hill. Let's start with where the past really is still preserved. I walked to Boot Hill and reflected on the fact that there were 74 murders before the first one had died of natural causes. I have a chance to explore the windswept area, and that's below the mining operations, and just take care and take in what it could have been, over 150 years ago. Various notorious citizens, like Three-Fingered Jack McCall, you have Mick Moriarty, Jim Levy, Big Jack Davis. Many of these notorious citizens of the town of Pioche, you can actually read about and read all their deeds and how they ended up in Boot Hill.
Yeah, this is going to be more like a then and now tour. You'll be able to see clearly.
We passed the old restored fire hall. I had my first hint that Pioche, unlike other towns like Tombstone and also Deadwood and even Oman that I've been through, all three of them have downplayed their violent past. It's there, it's public, but it's not been overdone like some of the other areas, tourist areas that I've been to. In the late 1860s, 70 early years, they had up over 10,000 for population. Today, growing community of 1,500. At the 6,000 foot level, it can be a little cold in winter. And it is off the normal tourist path. As we tour up the street here, you can see that we're hitting the $1 million Lincoln County Courthouse. Great story behind that. Starts originally $16,000 a time, ballooned to $1 million. I think it took him probably about 80 years to pay off. Great story behind it. But still a well-preserved building. You know, there are rumors that famous outlaws like Butch Cassidy came through the Pioche and also Wyatt Earp and many others that we know from our Western history. And it makes sense because this would have been an attraction. 10,000 population, booming town.
Yeah, with all that crime, now we have the courthouse. Originally $16,000 at that time, and it ballooned into $1 million. It took him 80, 90 years to pay off. $1 million, can you imagine at the time what it would be worth today?
Part of my walking tour is taking me past the Nevada Club, and you see a peek inside. Everything's kind of closed today. I think it's probably a Sunday that I'm on. But as I'm continuing to walk down the street, I also look across and I can see the local museum. So let's check out the museum and see if I can find a local employee. Give me a rundown what's happening in Pioche. Hey, thanks for the tour of the museum. So tell me why you like Pioche, Nevada.
Oh my gosh. Well, my favorite thing about Pioche is definitely the summertime, because you can be outdoors, enjoy beautiful weather, so much wildlife and hiking and camping and national parks, state parks, fishing. It's just amazing outdoor activities. And just the quietness of it, the small town feel, everyone is friendly, waving, has time to talk to you. So yeah, just definitely the peacefulness and the quiet and the friendliness, really.
Great museum. I appreciate that, and I'll be around for a few more days to talk to you. Well, time to a coffee stop pretty shortly, and also over to the Gunslinger restaurant, and then over to the Overland Hotel. Let's check them out here. The outside of the Gunslinger restaurant. Great place to sit, have a drink, have a beer, hamburger, and then across the street, the Overland. And right next to it, you've got the little small town, Tilly's gas station in the back. You've got places you want to stay for a couple nights. It's great. I take my last walk across the street, take in a few of the old historical areas and look at the Silver Cafe. And maybe one last little tour of the, looks like either the Gem or the Opera House. But then I run into the game warden coming up here. Great guy.
Love Canada. I would go back in an instant. Me and my family are going to take a trip up there next year to Dease Lake. So
Well, thank you.
I'll let you know how this goes.
All right, and thanks for participating, okay?
Thank you.
Great. Yes, Pioche had a violent past, but you know what's grown into this great little community of 1,500. The days I spent there is able to take it in and realize, yes, they struggle probably between, how to attract tourists and preserve their town, yet it's a growing community, totally separate.
Well, time to get back to camp and start looking at heading north. The Pioche community will eventually figure out the balance between having a growing community and embracing its past for tourism. It's going to take some time, but they won't go to the extreme of Tombstone or a Deadwood, which I hope they don't. But it's something to aspire to, that they can preserve their history. Thank you for watching.